What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hey man, this your boy Papa Black, man. We live, man, in Starline Studios. I'm hanging out with my dog. Hey man, y'all always hear me talk about three comedians. Anytime I get to handle the budget, I get to put the budget together. It's three comedians. The first three I always call. The first one y'all seen was Double D, comedian Double D. You always hear me talk about JJ, my twin. He'll be coming on. But today we got my third partner in crime. Very funny. Been repping the ATF over 20 years. Y'all don't see him on all the shows. Y'all get up for my dog, Dekeys.
Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? Up in the studio. Look, been trying to get here. Let me tell you, man. Me and this man go back so far. I'm talking about like puppies to big dogs. When we had spots like 559, the original Uptown that was on Uptown Comedy Corner. Comic View, when Comic View was taping 3 comedians, and then they went to 300.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about when comedy was comedy, when people went out to see comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've been putting it down.
Yeah, we gonna bring y'all some of the old school Atlanta, when the game was for real art form. You know what I mean? Back in 559. Yeah, I don't know what they had last weekend or whatever, but hey man, I don't know, man. We gonna take y'all back to when Atlanta was really Atlanta before we got approved for the Olympics, and the 559 day, the original Uptown days, the comedy days. Y'all don't know about none of that, man. But we gonna start off talking about all that. All right, man. Where you from, man? Let everybody know where you from. Let them know your credits and all that good stuff.
Originally from the west side of Atlanta, went to Harper High before they changed it to Harper Archer. So I'm original AT alien. I've been on BET, Comic View, Who's Got Jokes, won the Def Jam competition, written scripts, been around the world, and clubs, colleges. And let me say one thing. You know, a lot of people be like, hey, where the keys been? Let me tell you, I can't go back from where I've been because I don't put a staple in the game, and I know the worth. So I only take shows that know my worth.
That's right.
So I ain't been nowhere. So, you know, if you want to see me, make sure the promoter got some money, because when they go to talk about work with me,
oh yeah,
I can't work.
No, them dudes been paid, man.
Yeah,
them dudes been paid. What year you got started, though?
I got started, I think 1997, and I'm gonna tell you how I got started. This was a friend of mine was telling me about this comedy spot. He said, "Hey man, we ought to try, sign up, and go on stage." And I was like, I was a little hesitant. And he said, "No, man, it was a spot called, I'm going to put y'all on the spot. So if y'all open back up, goddamn, hook me up." But it was a spot in Greenbrier Mall, W3.
Yes, it was. They don't know nothing about that.
And it was a new spot. It was hot. It was jumping. And they had a comedy night. So a friend of mine said, "Hey, man, let's go sign up." Now, at the time, I can't remember who was hosting, but I remember who was hosting the night that I went up. It was a cat named Mac Bootsy, and I know you know Mac Bootsy.
Sir.
Mac Bootsy been in the game for a long time. So me and my friend, and he went back and scratched his name off the list and realized he did. And Mac Bootsy called me up, and I went up. I did pretty good. He came to me. He said, "Hey, man, how long you been doing comedy?" I say, "Man, I don't do comedy. I just got up here to have a good time." And he said, "Well, man, I think you ought to try it again." And I still won't say that's when my career started, because I was kind of just doing it just to have something to do. I had a job. And I say when my career finally took off, Mac Bootsy, and I never forget this, same guy who seen me host, the same guy seen me at BW3, he came to me, he had a show at Georgia Tech, with the old school cat, Ryan Cameron. That's when Ryan Cameron was on V103. He said, "Hey, man, can I be on this show?" And I paid me. I would have did the show for free. You know what I'm saying? He said, "I'm going to pay you." And I said, "Okay." He gave me $100. And that's when things kind of open up. I said, "Hold up. You mean to tell me I can get paid for this?" And I started doing different clubs, different spots. And I guess people started recognizing, hey, this cat pretty funny. And as a result, they started putting me on shows. And I think BET was in 1998. It was in California. And I sent a tape in and they accepted me to tape BET. Now, which you know, Black, we went all the way to LA.
Oh, yeah.
Tape BET.
Oh, yeah.
And it came to Atlanta the same year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should have waited, but no one knew that they were going to move from LA to Atlanta that same year.
Right. And then people didn't understand, Phil. You had to pay your own way. You had to pay for your own hotel, $150 the first time we taped Comic View.
Right.
$150.
And you might have spent
no residuals. No residuals now.
Well, you still don't get residuals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like every TV show, every movie, you get residuals, except BET.
Yeah, BET, once they show you one time, hey, that's your fame. That's your claim to fame. They can play you 100 times and you never get anything for them playing you.
Right.
Which was cool with me.
Right. I just wanted the exposure.
Because I just wanted the exposure.
That's right.
And I mean, I will say they did a good job of exposing me the first couple of years I did Comic View. I think I was one of the top played comedians on Comic View, which it boosted my exposure and I enjoyed it. I mean, you know, hey, I enjoyed that ride. I mean, I knew my name. People were looking forward to seeing me and stuff. So, I mean, I will give BET all the credit in the world. You know, they did give me the exposure that I wanted. But let me be clear, no residuals.
No residuals. You know? That means, for those that don't understand what residuals are, that means you do something one time and you get paid from now on. So if we, like when I had that red shirt on, that red t-shirt on with my cousin record label on Big Long Records, when I was one of the most shown that year, player, I'd still be rich by now if they'd have been paying us residuals back then.
Oh, Blackie, we was getting residuals from Comic View.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'll be in a way different tax bracket. Let me put it that way.
Of course.
Because they love that ATL swagger that we brought to Comic View.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. 559. What you remember about that 559? Because like I tell you, you had to be a real soldier to come through that 559.
Well, 559 was one of those clubs that was under the radar everywhere else, but in Atlanta, you knew about 559. A lot of people are familiar with the Apollo. If you can imagine the 559 being like the Apollo, but it's a club. It's not a theater, it's a club. Right. So you got everybody in there from the strippers, the pimps, the drug dealers, the normal people, and everybody came and had a good time. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of controversy at 559. They had a lot of security. Police was outside. Every now and then you're going to have something, but let me tell you something. 559 was not for the faint at heart. And when I say that, I mean for comedians.
Oh, no.
They used to have a tour that came through the 559.
The creative tour.
And the headliners were scared because they heard about the 559. Yep. And they would, when they get to the 559, they say, look, I don't even want to do it. I give that money up.
Damn sure did.
And that's when you had comedians like me, Black, Tyler, Sean. Yeah. We waiting over there like they don't want their money, we'll get it.
We'll get it.
And sometimes we would get all the money. Sometimes Bruce would say, okay, I'm going to divide this money up. Right. I'm going to let Black get some, Nod get some, Dekeys get some, Shawty get some, Dirt, whoever. Right. But we were never scared. No. And the 559, I want to say, is legendary in the fact that they didn't care what your name was.
That's right.
If you were funny, they showed you love, and if you were not funny,
they let your ass know.
They let you have it.
They let you know.
I'm talking about they boo you to the parking lot.
Right. Like 559, like I was talking about it with Double D, it was always compared to Peppermint up in New Jersey. Because they were like, them right there were two of the hardest rooms in the country. And people used to jump off that creative tour. Yep. When they got to that 559, they were like, nah, man, we ain't messing with that 55. So 559, I don't see some of the best get booed, and I don't see some of the best tear that bitch apart. And I always talk about Ricky Smiley. Prime example. Ricky Smiley came in there, he got booed, but boy, he came back the next time with that little Daryl. And when I say he set that bitch on fire, he set that bitch on fire.
That's my point. They didn't care who you were, because when Ricky Smiley, he had a name.
Right.
He had did come and view, they knew who he was.
Right.
And they didn't really give him, I guess that let's say celebrity, when you come out on stage, you know how people be clapping for your chin for you just because of who you are.
Right.
And I guess the fact that he didn't get that kind of through him, and he didn't do good that night. But he redeemed himself.
Yes, he did.
When he came back to do the 559, first of all, he let their ass know, if y'all don't like these jokes, then I tag y'all.
That's right.
And when he did Lil Daryl, I'm talking about, you seen Pimp standing up, strippers throwing they hard-earned strip money at Ricky.
Right.
They carried him through there like he was goddamn on the throne. So that's a prime example of not letting the creative tour and the 559 scare you off of being the true comedian. I feel like if you could make it through the 559, all the other clubs in the world were easy.
Oh yeah, and it was like, that's one thing 559 did for us. Like, once you, like, they gonna really tell you if you fun or not. Now, they not just in there hating or none of that. Because if you funny, when I say you gonna feel the love, you gonna feel the love. But if you ain't on point, I promise you, they gonna let your ass know that too. And I'm gonna say if you remember this. You remember when a comedian lost his mind in there?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we ain't gonna call it names.
We ain't gonna call no name. Put it this way, we don't seen comedians at the 559 dive off stage.
Yes, sir.
We seen some comedians get snatched off stage.
Yes, sir.
And we seen some comedians, and like I say, we ain't calling no names, but it was a particular group, and you gonna know who I'm talking about. The comedian zoned them out. Everybody was laughing. And when he got off stage, they jumped him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it all went down at that 5-5.
Now, that was the hating part of 559, but it was still a lot of love if you were funny.
Right.
Now, if you weren't funny, you know, next time you got on stage, Bruce had the counter almost like, please. Just listen to him this time, and if he ain't funny this time, we won't even let him back on the street.
But when old boy, when he lost it, I already knew he was gonna lose it. Because he was
gonna lose.
He had to start getting a little name for himself down in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes.
So he started kind of feeling himself. So he came through that 559, and 559 be sold out. But when I see him bust through the crowd and throw his hands up, I was like, oh boy, he really finna goddamn get it tonight. So he came up there, went out there, they were letting him have it. Okay, he came on stage, and I'm standing right there at the stage. He was like, hey, Black, hey man, they tripping, man, they tripping. I said, hey man, let me tell you something. Fuck that shit. Go get it to the ass. He went back out there. Rule number 1, if it's not your night,
it's not your night.
Okay. He tried it again. They let him have it again. He came back over there. He was like, Black, man, I don't know what's going on. I said, man, fuck them. Go get them. He went back out there for the 3rd time. They let him have it. And I'm talking about, boy, he was never the same.
And see,
just real talk.
Black, you set that man up. You said that. I'm just gonna tell you, because first of all, when he went out there the second time and got booed, he should have been like, you know what, Black, I love you, but I don't really think they receiving me. But you told him, hey man, You got it. Go back up there for a third time and get the hell booed out of you.
But I did not realize he was gonna go back. You know what I mean? Because we was all taught, if you having a bad night, pimp, just leave gracefully. Don't try to argue with the crowd. Don't try to do none of that. Just go on and leave. Just say, hey, man, this ain't my night. I'm gonna holler at y'all. But he kept going. But that was his ego. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna see if you remember this. You remember 559 was on one night, and they told Bruce, they say, if you put so-and-so up there, I'm telling you, time he touched the mic, we gonna let his ass have it.
Well, I mean, and I'm not particularly sure about that night, but I do know one thing. Like I say, 559, I loved it. Have I got booed at 559?
Yeah,
of course.
We all don't call it.
But have I beat their ass down?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
And I knew on any given night, you got to give it to the 559. You can't just go up there off of, hey, I ripped last week. Y'all know who I am. So they going to show you love. No. You give it to them every week. And if you didn't give it to them every week, you could have did good for 3 weeks. And that 4th week, they come back and boo your ass off stage and be like, look, come back with something else.
That's right.
And you be like, I thought y'all loved me. We do love you, but come back with something else.
That's right. Now, they're going to give you a shot every week now. But you better be on point every week.
You better be on point.
Let me ask you this here. Who used to come in there that wasn't a comedian that used to tear that goddamn stage up?
That wasn't a comedian?
That wasn't a comedian.
I mean, well, I consider... Now, you could be talking about who I think you're talking about, but I consider him a comedian. Did he wear a hat?
Mm-mm. Oh. I tell you what. As soon as he hears some music, he started bouncing them shoulders.
Oh, you got to help me out, Black.
That goddamn Sammy Sam.
Sammy Sam.
Sammy
Sam the Hitman.
Sammy Sam the Hitman.
Let me tell you something. Sammy Sam the Hitman is a rapper, for y'all who don't know, from the ATL. And he was like legendary in the street. Sammy Sam was one of the... You know how when a person start getting a name for themselves, start making a little money, they feel like they're above certain things. And that's one thing about 559. 559 has hosted some of the who's who that's in the game. Outkast. Right.
Everybody remember. I remember when Lou first started rapping. He was Chris Lover.
Chris Lover. And Sammy Sam was kind of like one of them street comedians. And he would just go up there and tell the DJ, give me my music.
Oh, yeah.
And he would tear that. I'm talking about it'd be a concert in 559 every Tuesday after the comedy show.
And he gonna tell Bruce, hey man, tell him to bring me a blue motherfucker. Once he get to sipping on that blue motherfucker, they cut their music on. I don't care what beat it is. You gonna see them shoulders start going up because the backhead bounce was in back then.
Yeah.
When he start bouncing them shoulders, and he finna freestyle, and he might put every comedian that he see, he might put their name in the rap every single time, and it's always different.
And not to cut y'all, Black, we getting shout outs, taps.
Oh yeah.
What kept the strippers in 559 is the owner of the 559 was also the owner of
Blue Flame.
Blue Flame.
So when we leave at 559, now look, you gotta understand 559 started at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday night. Like I told y'all when Double D was here, 11 o'clock, parking lot empty. 12 o'clock is sold out. We leave 559 about 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30. We flying down 20 straight to that Blue Flame. We finna go climb in the Blue Flame. Then we go hit the beautiful restaurant when we got there leave that Blue Flame. Y'all know half of y'all none of y'all young folk probably don't know nothing about the beautiful.
Beautiful around by 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. That was the place to be.
That's right.
Cascade Road.
That's right.
Now I got a story. This was long time ago, so I don't want y'all to judge me or him. But me and Shawty, comedian Shawty, he's on the radio right now. Me and him used to be roommates, and we went down to the 559. Like Black said, it was around 11 o'clock. Me and Shawty lit up a blunt at 11 o'clock. Smoked the blunt in the car and passed out in the car. Somebody tapped on the window around 12 o'clock and say, hey, y'all better come on in. When we got up, the parking lot was full. It was a line. They say, are y'all going on stage tonight?
That's right.
So that was that 5-5. It was a beautiful thing. Back in the day, I wish they had something that was even close to it.
Right.
Because it did make comedians stronger.
Right.
I will say that.
Right.
You know, because if you could survive a 559, I don't mean just one time, but if you survived a 559 a few times, you felt like you could go anywhere and represent.
That's right. That's right. You make it through that 5-5, I swear you can go anywhere, and everywhere will seem so easy because what 559 did, it developed your snapping skills, made sure your material was polished, made sure your delivery was polished. So when you go to a club that don't have the atmosphere of 559, it's like taking candy from a baby. You know what I mean? But look, we'll talk about that 559 all day because we got some legendary stories.
That's a story in itself.
Okay, once we start hitting the road, and first show you take was Comic View, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. How was it your first time getting on TV and experiencing?
Well, my first time on Comic View was, I'll say it was different. You know, I was, of course, excited because I'm going to be on TV. And I think that was my actual first time going to LA. So, you know, there's a lot of excitement there, anticipation. And I never forget, after I got off stage, the owner of BET came over to me. And, you know, he had on this well-dressed suit. And he came over and told me, he said, man, I've been doing Comic View for a long time. That was the first time I seen somebody come with your perspective. That was funny. I enjoyed it. And he told me, I think you got a bright future ahead of you. And gave me a card and he walked away. Now, everybody back there in the green room, including the host, ran over there. This was so funny. And they was like, what'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say?
Right.
And I told them what he said. And they was like, oh, man, you don't made it. And this to let you know how green I was about the game comedy. I was like, okay, who was that? And they say, man, it's Bob Johnson.
Right.
And I say, oh, okay, well, who is Bob Johnson? I still don't know. I apologize, Bob. But they say he owns this. I'm still green. I'm like, he owns Comic View. Right. They say, no, he owns BE.
Talking to D-Man.
And I say, oh. And so they was like, so he told you should move to LA? And I said, yeah, that's what he said. And everybody was like, oh, you made it. You made it. You made it. And like I say, I've never been the type that maybe ride someone's coattail or bother somebody. Right. Because like I say, I guess I was doing Comic View and I was doing comedy, but I guess I didn't see it all the way through.
Right.
To maybe get into movies, have my own special, have a big name in the game. So, I mean, when I take Comic View for the first time, I was just excited to say, okay, let me see myself on TV.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. How was it experiencing your new fame? Like when you went somewhere, like all of a sudden, you know, usually you go somewhere, don't nobody bother you. What happened? How did it feel the first time you went somewhere and people started recognizing you from TV?
I did feel a little awkward because, like you said, you used to kind of being able to just go wherever you go and do whatever you want to do. And then, you know, to have these people walking up to you, wanting to take pictures, wanting to autograph, quoting your jokes. I mean, it gave me a great feeling, but also it was awkward because I'm like, hey, this is just me.
Right.
You know, this just me. I'm still the same person. And I guess they looked at me as quote unquote a celebrity because they seen me on Comic View.
Right.
And I mean, I would never shy people away from an autograph. I would always take pictures because it was gratifying to me that, hey, y'all enjoyed me to the point to where, you know, and I get, oh man, we can't wait to see you again on TV.
Right.
I think at that point, that's when it started becoming more of, hey, maybe this is something that's kind of serious. Maybe this is something I can really do.
That's right. Now, let me ask you this. What job was you doing when you first started doing that?
All right, I got a whole story about this. Okay. I was working at UPS, and I was what they call an air walker. And I worked downtown in Atlanta. And what we would do is the same thing as the trucks, but we didn't have trucks. We had the little carts, or either we had hand trucks. Right. But we go through the different buildings downtown. And I seen Ice Cube. He was in town. And I told Ice Cube, you know, I think this when what was the movie that Ice Cube did long time ago? Maybe Boys in the Hood or something like that. Shortly after Boys in the Hood had came out. And I was like, hey, why don't you come to the comedy spot? Because we had another comedy club that another comedian used to host. And I had went to this comedy club 1,000 times trying to get on stage, but I never could get on stage. Right. So I told Ice Cube, come to the club. And he said, well, we ain't doing nothing. Come to the club. So when I got off work that night, I went and did my normal routine. I sang just like I always do, and anticipating getting on stage. Ice Cube and his crew came through the club, and the host, I was like, "Hey man, you gonna let me up tonight?" And he was like, "Man, I don't know who you are. I ain't putting you on stage." And I say, "Man, I got Ice Cube to come to you." And of course, you don't know Ice Cube, and I'm like, "No." I was at work today, and I told him I work at UPS. I seen Ice Cube, and he went over there and asked Ice Cube. He said, "Man, did a dude from UPS say something to you about coming to the club tonight?" He was like, "Yeah." So the host came back to him and said, "You were up next."
That's right.
I said, "Okay," and I went up there and I represented. You know, I did real good. And when I got off stage, the host was like, "Hey, man, okay, I know who you are now." Right.
That's right.
So that helped me out. But when I first got in the game, I was at UPS. And I never forget it because, you know, I was making money at UPS. So I wasn't really, I guess, maybe hungry or concerned about making money from comedy.
Right.
Until I did start making money. I started actually making so much money until I had to quit UPS.
That's right.
Because I was getting booked for shows. But fast forward now, I'm back at UPS. But I'm in a position and I make more money, but I'm still doing shows. So I was like, wow, it's kind of amazing how that worked. When I started comedy, I was at UPS and I had to quit UPS from doing shows. But now I'm back at UPS and I'm still doing shows.
Right.
Like I said, I'm just doing the quality shows, the money shows.
That's right. That's right. Like them dudes been paid long.
Dues been paid. We got a little different things on our plate now. You know, we got houses, cars, kids, a little bit more responsibilities. So, you know, until the comedy started blowing me all the way up.
That's right.
Like it should.
And see, that's one thing I kind of worry about for the comedians. Like, and this is what I learned when I was stepping away from the game. Like, I had all my eggs in one basket.
I think we all did, Black.
Yeah, but now as we get older, pimp, I think some of them need to start spreading out. You know what I mean? Like, pimp, ain't no 401k, ain't no insurance, ain't no Social Security. You know what I mean? It's we don't have a retirement plan from comedy. You know what I mean? So I think some other ones might need to start looking into doing some other things. Not saying change what you're doing. I'm just saying just don't have all your eggs.
Yeah, have a supplement because this is how I feel. I mean, this is just me. Some people numbers may be different. I don't know. But I know for me, I have a number. And if comedy is not bringing me that number, I need to have a supplement income to maintain what I have accomplish, you know.
Right.
Like I say, the game is a little different. We're a little older now. You know, in 20s, hey, you can put all your eggs in one basket and go for it.
Right.
But as you start creeping up in that age ladder,
Right.
you know, your thinking needs to be a little different if you hadn't made it from where you think you should be to where you're at.
Right. That's
and
right.
not to take anything from any comedian, you know, but like Black, just listen. You got to listen. It don't have a 401. It doesn't have
no type retirement
insurance.
plan.
You know, you get sick, you coming out of pocket, or
That's
either
right.
you're gonna be on that insurance. Well, I might come in there and beg you a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what.
That's right. You know? But I take that.
Yeah, I take the G.
If you gonna listen to me, I'm gonna take that G.
Be like, Doc, Dekeys, I ain't know you had a doctorate degree. I don't.
That's right.
Put this Vicks ass on that open wound and come back and see me in 2 weeks.
Right. Let me ask you this: What do you do to prepare for the stage? Like, is it something you do?
I used to. You know, I get in this little kind of like ritual. I listen to music. But I've been in the game so long until I feel like I have a ton of material. So the only thing I want to do is just really get a quick glance at my audience to gauge what kind of audience am I dealing with.
That's right.
And I feel like I have enough material and enough substance to talk about what that audience may enjoy.
That's right. Let me ask you this. What are some of your primary influences on your comedy?
Oh, man. Well, this is just opinion, so other comedians, please don't get mad. But Eddie Murphy, I feel, is one of the most talented comedians that we have in the game for singing, comedy. I mean, he just knew how to seize the moment. And he was a big influence, you know, of course, when he did Raw, I was like, man, he's up here saying all these different things and it's funny. And so he was a big influence to our late great brother, Bernie Mac.
Yes, sir.
Influence.
Yes, sir.
But one of the guys who actually made me be like, I want to be able to do that on stage. It was a comedian named JB Smooth.
Yeah,
and I don't know where JB is from, but JB Smooth, in my opinion, this was back then. I don't know now because I haven't worked with JB in quite some time. But to me, I feel like JB was a comedian's comedian, and he would take everything out of the room. And when I say take everything out of the room, he would have you bent over laughing, and it was like you was on a roller coaster ride because he was a physical comedian, but it's just how he conducted himself on stage, which made me look at it. I was amazed. I was just like, oh, I want to be able to do that.
Right.
To have people running to the bathroom because they can't hold their fluids, they got to pee, and I've seen JB do that quite often, and saw that I was just like, oh, that's what I want to be able to do.
Right. All right. What entertainers, athletes, anybody famous you know met?
Believe it or not, I met Shaq when Shaq first got drafted.
Dang.
And you know, he was like, yo, homie, you know, you're pretty funny. It's pretty funny. And this was before Shaq won a championship. This was before Shaq had Shaq All-Star Comedy. And Shaq was like, hey, man, you know, you should keep in contact. I might need a son. And of course,
I like that, bro.
I'm like, you're a basketball player, you know.
Right.
I don't play basketball, I tell jokes. And fast forward when Shaq got into the Shaq All-Star Comedy and all this stuff. Of course, I had lost his number by then, but I was trying to, and I was like, he probably not going to remember me. Right. I'm like, shoot, he was just getting into the league too.
Oh yeah. I know you say you met Ice Cube.
I met Ice Cube. Deion.
Yeah, I said prime time. Coach Prime.
And I don't want y'all to look at me funny, but I remember I met Dion a long time ago too when he became a Falcon.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he the one set that light on fire.
He was in this club. You may remember this club. It was a club downtown called Club Nickies.
Club Niggas, yes, sir.
2.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I walked in there and it wasn't a lot of people in the club, but I see this guy with the little curl and stuff, gold chain sitting at the table and stuff. And I looked and I said, damn, that's prime time Deion Sanders. And I went over there and I'm going to tell you something. Deion, he talked to me like we had been boys for a long time. He was like, man, have a seat. Because he was in there by himself. He was like, have a seat, sit down. He started giving me drinks and I started drinking with him. He started giving me dances. Of course, I ain't say nothing because he had all that money at the time. He had just got that big contract. So, hey, I'm sitting there like, do it, Deion. And, hey, got a chance to meet old prime time. I met Joe Johnson. He was a basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks. Used to goddamn dunk that thing in the basket. Let me tell you, Joe was smooth.
That's right.
I met Joe, and funny, I met Joe in Miami. I didn't meet Joe here, but he was playing for the he was playing for the Hawks at the time. But when I met Joe, he was in Miami, and we started talking. I was telling him I'm from it, stuff like that. And mess around, Joe gave me some tickets to the game. Talking about, man, come holler at your boy. I said, shoot, you got the tickets?
On to my for real.
Let me see who else. Let me see.
You met anybody that you watched growing up, and then you finally met them? Like I don't met OJ Simpson. I don't met Ike Turner. I met Lenny Williams. Girl, you know the Fonz, Henry Winkler. I met LeBron right before he got drafted. I got a picture with him and Darius Smile right before he got drafted. And that's one reason why I got so much love and respect for LeBron, because if it was anybody in the world that could be an arrogant motherfucker at 19 years old before he even touched the basketball court, he was worth $90 million. And he was so damn down to earth and cool.
Well, I didn't meet anybody like that coming up. Now I'm gonna tell you who I did think might have been a little standoffish or arrogant, but they won, which was Jamie Foxx. Yeah. And this when Jamie Foxx, well, he's still at the peak of his career, let me not say that. But I met Jamie Foxx, and actually he was having a party down here, and the radio station was kind of hosting it. It was the radio personalities from V103. And I was like, man, there go Jamie Foxx. So I was like, ooh, let me go meet him. Not like a groupie, just meet him. Hey, take a picture, be cool with you. And I went over there, and I think I was kind of, I was in the comedy game, but I don't know whether my name was ringing or whether I didn't have a name. That part I don't remember. But I told him I was a comedian. We took a picture. And I mean, he was real, real cool, down to earth. So I was like, man, Jamie Foxx is a cool dude.
Right.
And I'm thinking, man, okay, because I'm looking at him in Living Colors every other day, and all these movies, and I'm like, damn, Jamie's real cool. So yeah, that was a treat.
All right. Which spot you like the best, man? Hosting, featuring, or headlining?
Definitely headline. Let me rock out. Let me rock out. People be talking about, the keys you long-winded or whatever, but let me rock out.
Right.
I'll do whatever, but yeah, go and put me at the
like me and Double D. I like hosting better. I like all three of them, but hosting, because I get to come back. I can see something like if I host and you go out there and you say something and tear the club up, I can come and vibe off that, and you know what I mean. And then Double D come in, he say something, I can vibe off that road. So
and see that shows the mark of a great host, comedian, because what Martin did, which made Def Jam so successful, if y'all ever noticed, if the comedian got off whether it was on a big high or a low high, he always came back and tagged that last joke.
That's right.
Which made it even that more hilarious to like, oh, you know, he just piggybacked off what this other comedian said.
Right.
And made it funny.
That's right. Which city, your best city?
Ooh, that's a good one right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Denver, believe it or not.
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. I've always ripped Denver, and they showed me a lot of love. It's like whenever I go to Denver, well, I got to. Because lately, Buffalo has been showing me a lot of love. Buffalo,
right.
New York, Niagara Falls. I got to give y'all big shout outs. They always pack the house when I go.
All right. Worst city.
I have to think about that. Let me see. What's the worst city for?
Well, not worse as in bad show, like, but they don't give you the energy that you be looking for. Like for me, it's LA. Like I go out to LA, I don't care how I tear it up. But then when I come off stage, hey, man, you funny hell, man. I'm like, well, Pim, why you didn't show me that when I'm on stage?
Right.
Because that's most comedians get on a vibe. The more you laugh, the better our vibe get, the more we can get to rolling. You know what I mean? So if the crowd got low energy, 9 times out of 10, your comedian gonna have low energy.
Right. Believe it or not, I would have to say, and some comedians may say, man, but Charlotte.
Shit, I just love it. That was my second home.
Well, what I'm saying, Charlotte, like you say, Charlotte sometime they'll be running around the room at one point. Then let's just say you go back, they laughing, but they would always show you love after the show, and I never could really gauge on how much they enjoyed me till after the show.
Right.
Like I would definitely sell out all my merchandise, but I was like, well, y'all listening or y'all just but yeah. Right.
Yeah. If you wasn't a comedian, what would be your dream job?
Believe it or not, an architect.
Yeah,
I mean, I for some reason I like to draw, build, create sense, so I would be an architect. I mean, I know it's way far-fetched from comedy, but
trying to get all the money.
Yeah, I'd try to be an architect. Maybe I would have been on design one of these tall buildings that Warren Buffett owns or something like that.
Right. All right, what you got coming up, man? You got anything special coming up? You got a special coming out?
Well, no, not right now. No specials, but what we are going to start, we're going to be a little bit more internet savvy. Right, we're going to start being a little bit more seen and vocal on social media.
Right.
Which I have that coming up. Definitely with you on this platform right here. So y'all gonna see a lot more of me on this platform right here. And we're just gonna bang it out that way for right now, because like I say, I'm only going for the quality shows.
That's right.
So any promoters or anything on here thinking about, hey, that go to Keys, just know, hey, I've been in the game for over 20 years, so please don't come at me with nothing that's insulting, because at this point, I will let you know that it's insulting.
That's right.
$250 for a show. If it's local and I'm only doing like 10 minutes,
that's
maybe.
Right. That's right. It's walkthrough money.
Right.
That's walkthrough money.
But I mean, don't.
That's right. Go ahead and give out all your Facebook, how people can keep in contact with you and all that good stuff.
Well, I am on Facebook, of course. That's Dekeys, Facebook. Last name is MOMON. And if you type in that on Instagram, you'll also get me on Instagram. Same thing, Dekeys on Instagram. I appreciate all the little shout outs and the posts that the people do give to me. My daughter just had a birthday on the 20th, and a lot of people were posting saying happy birthday and stuff of that nature. So I want to thank you for that. Any more platforms? Well, no, just Instagram and Facebook. Cause like I said, I'm from the old school. I ain't jump into this computer stuff, and maybe I should have, but I mean, you know, it's never too late.
That's right. That's right.
Never too late.
That's right.
Just know I'm old school. I'm from the old school.
Hey, like I tell her, hey man, I'm self-taught. I'll be having to teach myself this, so you got to be patient with me. And social media was not big when we came up. You know what I mean? If we could have stayed in contact with our fans, like you can do now, we can interact with our shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like we had a platform they had back then. Now,
right.
Then of course, you know, we would have been able to stay in contact with our fans, because I want people to realize they have 20 different shows for artists that sing.
Right.
You know, you got The Voice.
Right.
You got American Idol.
Right.
America's Got Talent. You know, they say it's kind of for everybody, but you got singers on there, and then they got another song that sings. So, and then if it ain't singing, it's dancing. So they don't really have a lot of platforms for comedians to showcase their self. You know, I mean, you got to create your platform.
Yeah, you got to create your own.
So that's what we're doing right here.
That's right.
You know, I know we're just sitting here talking to y'all, and, you know, I know y'all saying, well, hey, those two funny comedians, but look, we real people. Trust me. If y'all want to see some funny, wherever y'all at, bookers, tell the promoters or the clubs, hey, book these two comedians, and trust me, we won't be on the podcast. We'll be on stage.
Oh yeah, y'all already know how we go, so it's not even a question. Well, look, man, I want to thank you for hanging out with your boy, man. You know, it's always a pleasure, and like I say, this is one of the first people I call anytime I'm finna go on the show, and I can control that budget. If they looking for some comedians, it's always him, Double D, and my partner, my twin, JJ. Hey, man, Papa Black, Dekeys, man, a.k.a. Dekeys, man. Y'all be easy.
Okay, yeah.